Jeff?
Yeah, I threw out something last night. Which team regrets their move the most? Bears passing on Watson and Mahomes, the Hawks trading Luka, or the White Sox? They traded Tatis when he was only 17 years old.
Did they really?
Or the Red Sox trading Mookie Betts.
But we already won a World Series with him.
That's true.
By the way, did you see they slammed Diego again?
Yeah.
Over the weekend?
They've won 7 in a row. Like, Daniel Jeremiah is taking victory laps down at the 619.
You know, the latest to go yard is, right? Jake Cronenworth. You see where he went to school? I said that to Daniel Jeremiah, Mr. App State. Loving this Cronenworth kid from
I got
Michigan.
that dude on my fantasy team.
Boy, the Pods are raking, huh?
They look good.
What a fun team, man.
Wow.
Fun team we can get behind.
These are good questions.
That's a good stock question. Maybe do that tomorrow and we add Tatis to the mix.
Why did you... here's what I need to do.
Because we were talking hoops. What do you mean?
We need to add Jeff in Detroit to the workflow.
Stop.
Today's poll question. He comes up with great ideas.
Today's poll question is great.
Do you remember we had Bryan Cranston on?
Can you pump me up a little bit, please, instead of trying to take me down here?
No. Do you remember we had Bryan Cranston?
Wow.
No. Hold on a second. No, come on. Do you remember we had Bryan Cranston on the show and we asked him about the Seinfeld episode where he took the hit of nitrous before putting it on Seinfeld?
Right.
And he said that idea came from
the lighting guy.
The lighting guy?
Yeah.
that the lighting guy said maybe you should take a hit of the nitrous before you put it on Seinfeld.
Pretty funny.
And he said that the moral of that story is best idea wins. That's what he said when he came on to promote the book that's sitting there in front of Mike Del Tufo's desk that's autographed. Yeah.
So many toys here.
That's right. There it is. On the right. Thanks for popping that up, Don. A Life in Parts. Best idea wins. It's a good idea today, but I mean, you know, the Luka or Kyler could have thrown Lamar in there too.
Tatis.
I think Tatis loses out just because people are talking about football and basketball a little more than baseball right now.
Maybe.
I don't know if Tatis has broken through the national mindset.
You think he's just West Coast?
No, I just think baseball, nobody's...
Niche baseball
Baseball's great and whatever, he needs to do it more.
Well, Kyler Murray's only in his second year.
Kyler Murray, people have watched on Saturdays for quite a bit, sir. I think Kyler Murray, the Heisman Trophy winner and could play baseball, certainly has more name recognition than Fernando Tatis Jr.
Oh, because the NFL is...
It does. I know that. I know. I feel like we're talking about the same thing so far. Hey, we had Shaq on earlier, and again, it's 8/24, which is Kobe Bryant Day. And tonight the Lakers are going to be remembering their fallen icon by wearing black Mamba shirts and jerseys, and there you see it. And the number 2 is for Gianna, who, as we all know, perished with her dad. And we asked Shaq about his memories, and he said that what he thought of was an Instagram photo that he asked for us to track down, that somebody put out a photograph of what Shaq would look like when he's 60 and what Kobe would have looked like when he was 60. And that these would be memories that he would love to have at Shift Refresh. Good stuff.
Wow, that's awesome.
That these are moments that he would have looked forward to and that he would have deserved that Kobe and he to have together, talking about grandkids and talking about life. Man, that is a moving photograph. As we remember Kobe Bryant tonight on a big game for the Lakers and the Blazers.
Big game tonight.
And obviously this family, we send only our wonderful best wishes to. Still can't believe it.
Same.
Still cannot believe it. I want to thank today's guests. I want to thank Shaquille O'Neal for joining our program. Bill Belichick called into the Rich Eisen show. That happened. That was great. Loved it. I want to thank David Shaw. I want to thank Tony Shalhoub. That was a lot of fun. And I also want to thank George Kittle for calling into the show. We are just getting started here on the Rich Eisen show. On tomorrow's program, Minka Fitzpatrick of the Pittsburgh Steelers, Bubba Wallace, Jeff Foxworthy will join us. Also later on this week, Jonathan Taylor, the rookie from Wisconsin, now with the Indianapolis Colts. Kenny Smith, Joe Manganiello, who we love. We'll talk Steelers with him. Mark Stein, Emmanuel Sanders. Danny DeVito is going to be on this program.
Hey, all right.
I saw the one and only Ivan, speaking of Bryan Cranston and him. It's on Disney+. That's a fun movie. And Courtney B. Vance will also join us. So I want to just say to everybody at NBC Sports who believed in this show, I want to call out John Miller and Michael Caine and Sam Flood and Molly Solomon and Pete Bavacqua and the rest of the crew there. It's very dangerous when you start listing executives' names. You leave anybody out. I want to thank everybody for being the fans of this show and bringing us to Peacock. We'll see you on NBCSN on Tuesday.
I humbly accept your nomination.
The 2020 Republican National Convention is on SiriusXM. Hear coverage throughout the day on Patriot 125.
Keep America great.
POTUS SiriusXM 124.
You have nominated a man for president who never quits.
And on the SiriusXM news channels 114 through 118.
We are keeping our promises to the American people.
The Republican National Convention. All this week on SiriusXM.
Gentlemen, are you ready to upgrade your grooming routine with some good uncommon scents? Cremo Company is proud to offer scents like aromatic blue cedar and cypress, bold and spicy bourbon and oak, calming silver water and birch, and revitalizing sage and citrus. These unique scents and more are available in our rich lather and body wash, barber grade shampoo, spray colognes, and our new line of long-lasting antiperspirants and deodorants. Look for Cremo's good uncommon scents at major retailers or on Amazon, because a little uncommon is just what your new normal needs.
Capital One knows life doesn't alert you about your credit card.
Hey, couch surfers, we've got nonstop tunes to keep you rocking while you work. Oh, and Colleen, yes, you Colleen with a K. Your free trial of Movie Plus ends tomorrow, and your card may be charged. Do you want to continue or cancel?
So meet Eno, the Capital One assistant. Eno looks out for surprise charges, like when free trials expire, and helps if you need to fix them. Eno, another way Capital One is watching out for your money when you're not. Capital One, what's in your wallet? Limitations apply.
Are you a survivor of sexual abuse while in the Boy Scouts? You may be entitled to compensation, no matter how long ago the abuse happened. But your time to file a claim is limited. Call 800-678-8807. That's 800-678-8807 for more information. As a result of thousands of victims filing sexual abuse claims, the Boy Scouts have filed for bankruptcy protection, and the bankruptcy court has set November 16, 2020 as the deadline for abuse survivors to file a claim. As a result of this bankruptcy, a victims' compensation fund is being set up that may be worth over $1.5 billion. If you are a survivor of sexual abuse while in the Boy Scouts, you may be entitled to compensation. Call 800-678-8807. That's 800-678-8807 and talk to one of the compassionate counselors for more information and to see if you may qualify. Your call is completely confidential. Call 800-678-8807 today. Sponsored by Sheldon Law Group.
What's it like to sleep on a Casper mattress with new AirScape cooling technology? Imagine sleeping on a cloud with a light tropical breeze. AirScape is our one-of-a-kind cooling system inside Casper mattresses. It lets air move through and keeps heat out, so staying asleep is easy and breezy. Just like that. Try a Casper mattress with AirScape this summer. If you don't sleep cooler, we'll pick it up and refund you everything. That's the Casper 100-night trial. Try it today at Casper.com.
This is Aussie Football Rules America with Eddie Maguire.
One of my great mates, Russell Crowe.
I actually feel that it's a privilege to sit and take a philosophical look at the way I've been living my life and actually try and clean it up a little bit and make it a little bit more efficient and spend more time with my kids.
Catch new episodes Thursdays at 6 p.m. Eastern on...
Isn't it about time for somebody's favorite radio program?
The Tony Bruno Show.
The man chosen to save American radio from its horrible future.
He didn't invent radio. He just perfected it.
Tony Bruno Show with Harry Maid.
Parental discretion is advised.
The godfather of sports radio. It is a final. Here is Tony Bruno. Tony Bruno.
Hello there. Ooh, wow. Oh, I need some water, as Andy Reid once said.
Here you go, Tony.
Well, thank you, I'm all choked up with emotion. I'm so sad to start today's program, Harry Mays. It's a Monday. It's a manic Monday. And as a process truster from way back in the day, Harry, it saddens me to say the process has been flushed. We would like to thank the ownership group, the coaching staff, the scouting department, the general manager, the mascot, the in-between quarter hosts, the broadcasters, anybody who had anything to do with the Philadelphia 76ers over the last 6 years, Harry. It is time to give it up. And it's also time today to give your mea culpas to Tony Bruno.
This goes back even further than 6 years. This is like 8 years.
Okay, I'm just trying to make it
because I believe it was 2013 when they drafted Nerlens Noel and Michael Carter Williams.
2013, and then Andrew Bynum, who was a great bowler but never saw the basketball field.
Right. When they could have had C.J. McCollum or Giannis Antetokounmpo in that draft. I mean, the hindsight is unbelievable.
I'm trying to be kind here. Because
you never trusted the process.
I never trusted the process.
I did.
I know you did. And so did Eitan. Eitan's coming after me on Twitter, telling me, oh, nobody knows about the process more than I do. There's no local guy here. Where the hell have I been? In Siberia? I remember sitting in meetings, Harry Mays, with the hierarchy of the 76ers when we were both at the radio station that had the rights to the thing and being told not to rip the process.
Yeah, don't criticize the
process.
It.
And that's the wrong thing to say to me. When you tell me not to talk about something that is consumer fraud, guess what I'm going to do? I'm not going to pay attention because my job is to be the conduit to the fans, not some slapdick podcaster or program director of a radio station who has a podcast and 75 other people who have Sixer podcasts and put banners up and altars and candles and light them to Sam Hinkie. The biggest fraud in the history of the NBA. A man who committed consumer fraud for how many years, Harry? Not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 years. How many wins in 4 years, Harry? 47 wins, 199 losses, 25-game losing streaks.
Twice.
Yes.
A 10-win season.
And a 10-win season in there. And by the way, that makes Sam Hinkie a genius because by sucking and defrauding paying customers to go out and watch D-League, not even G-League.
Not even D-League.
It was guys off the street, Harry. And then you wanted people to pay it and then told them that this is the way to win a championship. And pretty much the same Philadelphia sports fans, Harry, who can't take one losing season from the Eagles after winning a Super Bowl, who are after the coach and after the quarterback after they won a Super Bowl, have given this organization, the ownership and the 76ers, have gotten the biggest free pass in Philly sports history. Am I wrong?
No, you're right about that. It is remarkable what they've put fans through, and the fans largely accepted. Not everybody accepted it, but a big group, including me, accepted that was the idea, to go try to get to the top of the draft year after year for a while and try to get the best assets. I'm using Sam Hinkie's verbiage here. And thus far, it's been an absolute failure.
And I understand. I didn't have a better way. When people say, well, what's your better way? I'm not the general manager. I'm not the owner. I don't have a better way. But guess what? Just because other teams tanked and then got the guy they wanted doesn't mean that tanking for 4 years is going to guarantee you anything. Because remember, Embiid fell into their laps as the third pick because he was passed up because he was hurt.
Right.
And then
that was the Wiggins draft.
Yes. And everybody wanted wingless for Wiggins and all the other hashtags, right? And then what were some of the other guys at the whole fan basis? We got to get this guy number one.
Well, they ended up getting Ben Simmons number one.
And and guess what? He was the consensus pick.
Right.
I had no problem with him taking Ben Simmons.
But he still has flaws in his game and weaknesses in his game that he has yet to fix.
And he can't shoot now.
Which is a big problem.
There were some critics for Ben Simmons, if you remember. He was at LSU for one season.
Oh, yeah.
And he decided not to play. His team didn't make the tournament, if I remember correctly.
They did not.
And he refused to play in the NIT. He didn't travel with his team. He said, no, I don't want to get hurt.
And he was making that movie, that documentary. He was was more. It
documentaries,
seemed like he was more interested just in himself than his team and all that stuff. Yeah, you're right.
The draft experts were like, "Whoa, was his head really in it?" Blah blah blah.
By the way, we're going to have John Gonzalez, who's a draft expert, and he's a process truster, and he's a friend of the show.
Right.
Because he was here then. Now, of course, he's out in California. He writes for The Ringer.
I think he has a little statue, a little like a head of Sam Hinkie in his house.
Candles.
Yes.
And the banner.
It's like a Buddha statue.
Well, look, thus far, until the process delivers a championship, because that's the goal, right?
Exactly.
It has been a failure. It's still in the works because you still have Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid, and some of these other, assets and so forth. But to me, they kept the wrong guys. They drafted the wrong guys. They traded for and then traded away some of the wrong, they accumulated assets, which was the goal of the thing, to win a championship. They did all that. They just didn't manage the assets properly.
Well, and in the meantime, the fans have suffered with really crappy teams for the last several years.
Well, in the last couple of years, they've been good teams in the regular season.
They had some good pieces.
But those first 4 years were awful.
In the NBA, all you need is two main cogs, and then your job is to put around them competent players
and they haven't
who
done
facilitate.
That.
This team this year, we saw it from the beginning. People are going after me all night and all morning. Well, look at the guys they had. Look at all the pieces that they got rid of that are still productive players on other teams in the NBA.
Right.
Guys that they traded away. So listen, I'm no expert. I'm not saying I had a better idea. But to suggest that the process is still not complete, how are they going to fix it now? They've got contracts that they couldn't give away. Tobias Harris, disaster. And they got sucked in last year.
Horford.
Al Horford, because he played well against them when he was at the Sixers.
Now all of a sudden he looks like he's 58 years old.
Yeah, he looks older than me, and I'm out there flounder fishing, look like Ernest Hemingway out there yesterday.
Right.
In Delaware, looking like a redneck. Bottom line is this. Flush the process. That's the hashtag today.
Is that what it is?
Flush the process.
I think you're going to be flushing Brett Brown here in the next day.
And again, I don't call for heads. I don't call for firings. But I told you.
Well, it has to happen.
Yeah, he's got it.
He's got to go.
Is there any way that the 76er fan base, even the strappers who trust the process and all have their emergency podcast going on and still have their Sam Hinkie banners hanging in their basements where they do their podcasts? I'm in my basement, but at least I'm on somewhere, somehow. You know what I'm saying, huh?
Yeah, I mean, you go back and you can go back through all these drafts, where they had assets at the top of the board.
Yep.
Or in the lottery, whatever you want to call it. I mean, you look at when they took Jahlil Okafor.
Yep.
Porzingis was on the board at 4. There was a lot of people saying that, he didn't want to come to Philadelphia. He wanted to go to New York. Well, he's no longer with New York, too. I don't know what would have happened if they would have gotten Porzingis.
I don't know either.
Who knows? But Okafor was the wrong pick. That we can agree on.
Pick.
Okay.
And then Fultz. Let's remember, the Fultz draft. Because
they didn't have to trade to get Fultz.
Exactly. Here's my point.
Could have taken him.
It wasn't – people are blaming, well, that's 2 general managers ago. Does it matter? If you have a general manager in place, I don't care if his wife's using her stupid burner phone and that stuff. That's just part of the stupid world of pro sports. Colangelo was a disaster. Elton Brand, he's the guy that went out and got Jimmy Butler.
Right.
And because Brett Brown, his coach, didn't want Jimmy Butler, he forced him out of here, and guess where he went? Miami. Look at Miami. They're about to beat the Indiana Pacers.
Right. He could have maxed Jimmy Butler instead of Tobias Harris, and Jimmy Butler would be here.
Exactly. Jimmy Butler is a gamer.
Yeah.
That's the difference.
Right.
They got a couple guys in here, gave him a lot of money, and they're not a good fit. It's a bad fit. And somebody's got to take the fall for this. That's how it works in tough sports towns. In some sports towns, it doesn't matter.
It's a results-oriented business.
Exactly.
And it's always going to be.
And in a city that prides itself, not on just trying to get coaches fired, but realizing that you can't get 7 years, a 7-year reprieve in this day and age of win now, and then this has been the most fickle, uneducated basketball fan base, and this is a great basketball city. And we got young 20-somethings who think they know basketball because they play fantasy, and they don't know crap. They don't know jack squat about basketball.
Now, who are you talking about here? Rothstein? Are you going at it with him, man?
No, he's all right.
All right, I'll take it.
He's all right.
Listen, an all right from Tone.
He's a process strapper, too.
Yes.
He's a process strapper.
I'm not full-blown process strapper. I'm somewhere in the middle. You know what the problem is, Tone? For 4 years, we said to kick the can down the road.
Yeah.
You finally get all these pieces, and you just said this. But now, oh, no, Embiid's too young. You got to give him time. Simmons is too young. You got to give him time. The dude hasn't shot a basketball in 3 years after 4 years of consumer fraud. So I am with you
That's
on
what
all
my
that.
problem is. I don't care if you want to go pay for inferior products. You know, if somebody says, "Hey, there's a show in town and it gets terrible reviews, but you got to pay a lot of money to go see it." Would you go pay a lot of money just because your friends like it?
Well, I mean,
I don't listen to critics. I'm talking about a TV show. Some friends, you got to watch this TV show.
Right.
Now, you don't have to get dressed, go out, pay for parking, pay for tickets, and all that.
there is an entertainment value regardless of winning or losing.
Exactly.
That is,
listen, I do too.
Right?
Yeah. But Sam Hinkie, and I'm not defending Hinkie.
Sam
Tony.
Hinkie was a fraud. He never had any accomplishments as a general manager.
I'm with you.
He was an assistant. He never had any cred anywhere. And guess what? Since he was run out of the NBA, he's still body surfing out there in Northern California. So how good is he if nobody else wanted to hire him? Right. People hire me, but they won't hire Sam Hinkie. They hire me when there's no sports, but Sam Hinkie is unhireable. So how good is Sam Hinkie if he can't get a job?
Now that sports are
Sam Hinkie, sorry, Harry.
Oh, body
Sam
surfing?
Hinkie in a rash guard and a boogie board.
Yeah.
Eddie Powers.
Is he a boogie boarder or is he a body surfing
He's
dude?
a boogie boarder.
Boogie
You think so?
board, brah.
Yeah.
Totally,
Does his boogie board have the fins in it?
Oh yeah, it's
Yeah.
got the fins in it.
brah.
But think about anything else, any other product, and they come out and they say, okay, we're going to make a product that is not as good as the product that you're expecting. We're putting less, the ingredients are worse. It's not going to taste as good, but we're going to charge you the same amount.
Right.
For who knows how long. And we want you to still buy
until we
this
get
product.
better parts to make the product better.
And then, we hope that it's going to make the product better down the road, but we still want you to buy this at the exact same price
And people,
as before.
listen, there's a sucker born every day. Snake oil salesman, they'll convince you that this is going to work. And again, I'm not happy that the process bombed. I'm a fan.
I had season tickets one year.
Did you really?
Yeah. I had one of those packages that I didn't have them for the whole every home
Which season? Did you have the 10-win season or the 19-win season?
No, I think mine was the season after that when they won 28 games, I think.
Yeah, that was the season after.
I think it was 28.
The 10-win season, they paid you to walk into the Wells Fargo Center.
I'll tell you. They should have.
About 9,000 fans a game there.
Anyway.
But I hate this team now.
Yeah.
I really don't like them.
I hate the ownership group, and I've done that from day one. I told you these guys were slumlords looking for distressed properties in Kensington and then trying to build them up and sell them as a product. And they need to unload this team. Go buy some other distressed team and sell this team to people who want to win, who aren't just, again, I have no problem with capitalism. They're going to make a nice profit on this thing. It was like Norman Brayman when he sold the Eagles.
No question.
When he bought the Eagles from Leonard Toews, who was destitute because he spent all his money wasting it on gambling and lost it all. And then Norman Brayman came in, a Miami car dealer who grew up here and was selling cars in Miami, and he buys a distressed property and should have won a Super Bowl with it, but didn't have what it took and didn't care about winning a Super Bowl, Harry. And when you have a guy, an owner comes in, and it happens in every city, not just here, it's a disgrace. This is the most disgraceful, and there have been a lot of bad ownership groups in this town.
AJ in San Antonio said, Miss Robin just described White Claw.
Exactly. Anyway, John Gonzalez is going to join us. You know who else? We're going to go to a man right now who is doing the play-by-play and has the best player in the NBA to watch play every single night.
I'll tell you, that was
not LeBron.
Nope.
Not Kawhi. Nope. Luka, baby.
Kawhi got lost on a switch on that play.
You know what? That bitch-ass white boy can play.
I'll tell you what, he
can.
For
a 21-year-old bitch-ass white boy,
right.
he can hoop.
He has now turned that into a compliment.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? On a sprained ankle, no less.
Exactly.
I saw him. Last I saw him before that game was hobbling up the tunnel. I'm thinking, oh my God, they're done. Right.
He's single-handedly beating Kawhi and the Clippers.
And Porzingis didn't even play.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
It's an outrage. Anyway, we got a lot to talk about. Baseball, football, hockey, golf. Dustin Johnson, Harry.
He was playing a different golf course.
Damn right. We're coming right back. The great John Gonzalez for The Ringer and a whole bunch of other good stuff. We're just getting started, so don't go anywhere, kids. And if you want to call and give me
your next round of golf.
Oops.
I don't know. It's my fault. My tooth fell out again.
Do you want me to go get something hot?
Yeah, because it's
hot water
not
quick?
holding in.
Okay, hang on. I have to dial up Gonzalez here real quick.
Wow.
I can't wait to see what John has to say because Everyone that's saying, "Oh, Brett getting fired," that's the answer. Not even close. Ownership's a joke.
Okay, we're in here.
My buddy Barbecue Beef Balboa says, look out, all the fanboys are going to swoop in and tell you, it's already proven to be a success. Oh, I already got all that. It's already proven to be a success, Harry. How do you come up with that conclusion? Is that accurate? How is it a success?
I mean, how are they defining success?
Process?
Yeah.
It's not a success. The process is not to get into the playoffs. They regressed. They looked better last year. And by the way, there were people when they went into the break who had them as one of the favorites to win the East, right?
Oh, yeah. I mean, even going into the bubble, it's, they're built for the playoffs. They could make a run before Simmons got hurt.
Even though they sucked on the road, and then the argument was, the conversation was, well, everybody's playing on the same floor.
Yeah,
so even though the Sixers were a great home team and they sucked on the road, that's been neutralized here, right?
Yeah, no, that was the talk. I think the process confusion with that debate, whatever you want to call it, is people look at it differently, the timeline. Like, if you look at it only in a certain era, well, they did get assets and they did get a lot of young talent, and then they screwed it up after.
All right, mister. Where are you? He's not there yet. Sorry. Okay.
Well, I'm
going to go run upstairs. But I'm just worried that if John comes in when I'm not here.
I can't
We're coming back in less than a minute.
Okay.
Forgot about it then. I just don't want it to look. Why isn't the Twitch stream opening on my computer? I got 15 messages here.
Where is he? Ready for you. Come on, Gonzo.
Look what AJ bought this morning.
Here we go.
Oh, another trap?
That's a big crab pot.
Yeah,
It's
that's
when you just
huge.
leave in the
Yeah.
water.
Welcome back to the Tony Bruno Show with Harry Mays on SiriusXM 211.
Back here on a Monday, a manic Monday, but so much going on. We got NFL news. Apparently even the NFL's tests aren't being conducted properly.
Right.
False positives.
How about that? 77 of them, Tony.
I know. That's
all linked to the same lab in New Jersey.
What the hell's going on out there?
I don't know, man.
We got to go to a man right now who has the best hair maybe in all of sports.
Look at this.
His hair is great. Oh. He trusted the process. You notice the Sam Hinkie banner has now been taken from his wall out in California. He once again is now burning it on the streets of L.A., out on the beach. He's going to Venice Beach, and he's going to be in a drum. You're going to be in a drum circle tonight, casting a spell on